A cabin the size of a walk-in closet. A bed you can touch from 3 sides without moving your feet. A shower that snaps from scalding to freezing depending on what deck flushes above you. Now picture living there for 8 months straight and sharing it with a stranger. While 60 feet above your head, 3,000 guests sip cocktails beside an infinity pool. How does the crew sleep, eat, and shower on a schedule that barely gives them time to do any of it? Most passengers assume there's a smaller version of their own experience happening somewhere below. A cozy little room, a private bathroom, maybe a porthole to watch the ocean. That assumption dies the second you pass through a crew-only door marked with a keypad instead of a handle. Below the waterline, the ship stops looking like a resort. The hallways narrow, the ceilings drop, the carpet disappears and gives way to painted steel. This is crew country, and it runs on completely different rules of space. A typical entry-level crew cabin measures somewhere between 80 and 120 square feet. That's a walk-in closet, about half the size of the cheapest cabin a paying guest can book. 2 crew members usually share it, sometimes 3. No window, no porthole, no natural light, ever, for the entire length of the contract. Just bunk beds against one wall, a closet barely wide enough for 2 uniforms, and a bathroom so tight that turning around in the shower means brushing the sink. So why build it this way? The answer is math, plain and simple. Every square foot facing a guest makes money. A sold cabin, a bar stool, a spinning roulette wheel. Every square foot facing a crew member makes nothing. It's pure cost, competing for the same limited hull space as engines, fuel tanks, and cargo holds. Shrink the crew's footprint, and you free up more of the ship for the people paying to be on it. But if space is this tight, how does anyone actually sleep in it? The bunk is engineered almost like something out of an aircraft cabin. A thin curtain for privacy, a reading light wired straight into the headboard. Just enough clearance to sit up without cracking your skull. That's it. Nothing else fits, and that's the point. New crew learn fast to think vertically instead of horizontally. Suitcases slide under the bottom bunk. Shoes line the wall. Anything left on the floor becomes a hazard the second the ship rolls. Here's the part most people don't expect. The tiny footprint isn't only about space, it's about weight. And weight is brutal math on a cruise ship. Every extra kilogram of furniture, every added foot of steel has to be offset somewhere else to keep the vessel balanced and fuel efficient. Multiply a few thousand cabins across a ship the size of a small city, and shaving even 1 square foot per room saves real tonnage. So sleep is solved, sort of. What about the bathroom? Most crew cabins do have a private one, which sounds like good news. Then you see it. Shower, toilet, and sink combined under 30 square feet, the footprint of a phone booth. There's no separate stall. You step in, you're standing directly over the toilet, and a curtain wraps the whole thing to keep water off the room. Pressure and temperature are a gamble too, because crew plumbing draws from the same limited freshwater system as thousands of guest cabins above. Someone flushes 2 decks up, and your hot shower turns ice cold without warning. Crew learn to shower fast, and they learn never to trust the tap. Now here's where it gets strange. 2 people, 1 closet-sized room, often on opposite shifts. A waiter finishing a midnight shift in the dining room. A roommate who needs to be up at 5 to start turning over cabins. The room is almost never empty. It's almost never quiet at a convenient hour. Crew develop a kind of 6th sense, moving in the dark without a sound, dressing by feel, closing a door without a click. Not a lifestyle most people would choose. For crew, it becomes second nature within weeks. Sleeping and showering both come down to compression and timing. So what about eating? Surely that part looks normal. It doesn't. Guests eat in dining rooms with ocean views and multi-course menus. Crew eat in the crew mess, buried deep in the working core of the ship. No windows. A rotating schedule to fit hundreds of staff across wildly different shifts. Buffet style, loosely grouped by department or nationality because a cruise ship crew is famously international, sometimes 50 countries under one roof. The food isn't there to impress anyone. It's fuel for people on their feet, 10, 12, sometimes 14 hours a day. But here's the twist. The mess isn't just about calories. It's one of the only places on the ship where off-duty crew can actually sit down and talk like normal human beings. Given how cramped the cabins are and how mismatched the schedules get, the mess hall quietly becomes the crew's real living room. Friendships form there. Homesickness gets talked through over rice and stew from 6 cuisines at once. An 18-hour day finally gets to end, even if only for 20 minutes. So the cabins are cramped, the bathrooms are the size of a phone booth, and meals are squeezed into rotating shifts. Why would anyone sign up for this at all? Because the math flips once you zoom out. Many crew members come from countries where onshore wages are a fraction of what a cruise line pays, even at entry level. Room and board are covered entirely, which means nearly every dollar earned is savings, not rent. Contracts typically run 4 to 8 months, followed by real time off back home. For a lot of crew, this isn't comfort traded for money. It's short-term discomfort traded for a financial leap that would take years to pull off on land. The cabin is small. The paycheck back home often isn't. And there's something the schedule creates almost by accident. Because crew barely spend waking hours in that cabin, its size stops mattering the way passengers assume it should. A room used for 6 or 7 hours of unconscious sleep between 2 exhausting shifts doesn't need to be spacious. It needs to be dark, quiet enough, ready the second your body finally shuts down. In that narrow window, 80 square feet of windowless box does exactly what it needs to do, not 1 square foot more. So next time you're stretched out on a pool deck, 60 feet of open ocean around you, remember what's underneath your feet. Past a keypad door most guests never notice. A completely different ship is running. Smaller rooms, shorter showers, meals eaten in shifts nobody upstairs will ever see. None of it was built to be glamorous. It was built to be efficient enough that everything above it could stay glamorous instead. The ship you're floating on is really 2 ships stacked on top of each other, and only one of them was ever designed with comfort in mind.